Welcome back to the podcast. This is Naraya Speaks. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me, welcome back. This is the first time I'm picking up the mic in some time. We haven't had an episode since October, so welcome to season 3. And indeed, it is a new season. So today's episode is called Lonely at the Top. Now, most people, when they hear that phrase, they usually think money, status, success, fame, but that's not where I'm going today. For me, lonely at the top has looked like growth. It has looked like boundaries. It has looked like changing. It has looked like outgrowing spaces, people, habits, and versions of myself that I once thought I needed. Sometimes the top is not a penthouse. Sometimes the top is peace. Sometimes the top is clarity. And it could definitely finally be choosing yourself. Not because nobody loves you, not because nobody cares, but because everybody cannot go where you're going. So today I want to talk about access. I want to talk about value. I want to talk about why people often want what they can't have and why protecting yourself can feel lonely before it feels rewarding. There's something about human nature. There's something about it that just fascinates me. So sometimes people can have something right in front of them and not value it. They can have your time, kindness, loyalty, your softness, your support, your presence. And while they have it, they move careless. I want to say reckless, but either or, they assume you'll always be there. They assume access is permanent. They assume they can circle back whenever they feel like it. Then the minute you pull back, the minute you say no, the minute you disappear, suddenly now they see you and they see your value. Suddenly they're calling, they miss you, they're curious, they care. And it makes you realize something powerful. Some people did not value you, they valued access to you. There is a difference. Because if they valued you, they would have honored you while they had you. I had to learn this the hard way. There's a lot of things I have to learn the hard way in life. This was one of them, recent. I realized I've given too many people access to me. Too many people have my number. Too many people could reach me at any time. Too many people felt entitled to my attention. And the truth is, I was grieving. So why take more of what I already don't have to give you? See, for some of my followers that don't know, I did recently lose my mother. And some people conveniently have forgotten that while they're willing to take from me. And I find that to be very inconsiderate, even if I'm not being nasty to your face or defending my own honor to you, because I don't have to. It is still very, very cruel to request more from someone who already has little to give themselves. So finding that strength is exactly what made this podcast be possible for me today, because I did not think I was ready to get back on the mic, but that is exactly what gave me the strength to do this episode. Sometimes we hand out access because we're kind, or we're lonely, or we're being used, or we're used to being available. Sometimes because we haven't yet learned the price of our own energy. I had to literally change my phone number. And to some people, that may sound dramatic. But for me, it was symbolic. It was me saying, you cannot just reach me because you feel like it anymore. You cannot disrupt me because you're bored anymore. The 5 a.m. calls to talk about somebody else, we're not doing that anymore. You cannot pull me into chaos because you have access anymore. Changing the number gave me more than distance, it gave me my peace. It gave me silence. It gave me room to hear myself think again. I think I went 3 days, 4 days without giving anyone my new number, and I am strategically deciding who and why and what has access to me. Sometimes peace requires inconvenience. Sometimes peace requires people being upset. Sometimes peace requires you looking like the villain in somebody else's story, but so be it. One thing I've learned recently is this: the story people tell about you is none of your business. Let me say that again. The story people tell about you is none of your business. People will tell stories based on their ego, hurt, jealousy, their misunderstanding, their limited access, and their projections. And if you spend your time trying to correct every false narrative, you'll never build your real life. Let's get off the internet. What's going on really out there? Have you been outside? Have you shut down social media for a day, a week, a month, just to be able to live in the real world? Have you stopped checking DMs? Have you stopped answering the phone? Have you sat with yourself? What do you want? Some people will literally know a chapter of you and swear they know the whole book. If you spend your life trying to correct that, you'll always find yourself misunderstood. Some people met a wounded version of you and think that's your final form. Some people only knew you when you were available, emotional, over giving, distracted, drinking, hurting, settling. They do not know the healed you. They don't know the disciplined you. They don't know the private you, and they don't know the focused you. And that is okay. You do not need to announce growth. Growth speaks for itself. So, what does lonely at the top really mean to me? It means some rooms no longer fit. It means some conversations no longer interest me. It means some connections no longer feel aligned. It means I can't be associated with just anybody anymore. And that's not arrogance, that's discernment. When you start respecting yourself, your standards change. You stop wanting random energy around you. You stop wanting people who only come with confusion, only come with requests. You stop wanting to be connected just for the sake of saying you're connected. You become careful, selective, intentional, and yes, sometimes that feels lonely, but I'm an only child, so I thrive in this. It's my favorite place to be. This is where I create. This is where I begin. This is where I become. This is where I say yesterday's Naraya does not have to be today's Naraya. Just because I accepted it before does not mean that that was the finality of what I am willing to accept in my life, because chaos is crowded, but peace can be quiet. Drama is noisy. Healing is silent. Being accessible keeps you busy. Being intentional, it keeps you fulfilled. There's a difference. I've been asking myself lately, is this because I'm becoming older? I just turned 34 2 weeks ago. Shout out to all my 90s babies. Or is it just growth? And honestly, maybe it's both. Age can sharpen discernment, experience can make you wiser, pain can make you more honest, healing can make you less available. There comes a point where you stop needing to learn every lesson the hard way. You start noticing patterns faster. You start leaving quicker. You start protecting yourself sooner. And at some point, you really do say, oh, same horse, different race, different day. You stop confusing attention with love. You stop confusing history with destiny. And you stop confusing access with connection. Now that is maturity. And then you have to get to a point where you don't just say, oh, this is because of where I'm from. You make a decision and a choice to grow, to evolve, and to change, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So maybe you're listening to this right now and you feel lonely. Maybe you've been setting boundaries. You could have outgrown people. Your phone is quieter than usual. Your circle got smaller. You're tired of your Instagram feed. You don't want to check your Facebook news feed. I know a lot of us have been there. Maybe you feel misunderstood. Let me tell you something. A quieter life is not always a worse life. Sometimes the silence means alignment. Sometimes that silence means that next chapter is about to eat. So sometimes the loneliness is temporary, before healthier connections arrive. Sometimes losing access to certain people is how you gain access to yourself. So ask yourself, who has access to me that shouldn't? Who leaves me feeling drained after the conversation is over? Who only values me when I leave? Who only asks me for favors? Who am I becoming to protect my peace? Sit with it. So, no, lonely at the top doesn't mean I'm isolated. It means I'm elevated. It means I'm clearer. It means I understand that everybody cannot come with me. And everybody who wants access does not deserve it. Sometimes what lonely feels like today becomes the foundation of your best season tomorrow. So protect your peace, protect your energy, protect your becoming. And if nobody told you today, you are allowed to outgrow anything that no longer honors you. So thank you for listening to me, and do me a favor, share this with someone that you believe needs to hear it. I'll talk to you guys next episode. And again, thank you for tuning in.